Before we get this show started, I just want to let you guys know that Justin did not drive himself home after this episode was recorded. You'll understand what I mean about 30 to 45 minutes into it. Thanks. Enjoy the episode.
Guys, what are you guys drinking right now? Is that whiskey?
Old Camp Peach Pecan Whiskey. I brought it here for Caleb. Caleb seems to like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like usually I hate whiskey because it tastes like the devil's asshole, but I'm like, this is fucking smooth, dude. This is dangerous smooth is what it is.
Yeah, cheap whiskey sucks. I can drink really good whiskey though. That looks like something you buy from like a liquor store. That's
Walmart.
Like, oh, it's in Walmart. Nice.
Fun fact: the Toys R Us in Omaha recently got turned into a liquor store because why not?
Perfect.
And it's right by my union hall, so I went in there and they have this Old Camp whiskey, and they also have this whiskey from Colorado that I got. But like this is like it's flavored peach pecan, and it's like drinking a flat soda, I'd say.
A little bit more burn than a flat soda, but yeah, it's good. And we're recording now, so if you guys are cool, we'll just
it's like drinking a McDonald's flat soda. Like
Yes.
That day old McDonald's soda.
They'd be putting something in there, like I don't know if it's insect repellent or something or what, but it makes that burn your mouth when you drink it.
Dude,
Dude.
you can't put it down until you black out in a bush somewhere.
Yeah. That's the worst thing is like waking up at like 2 a.m, just this unquenchable thirst, and the first thing you see is that like 2-day-old McDonald's soda on your nightstand, and you just go for it. Just the immediate. There has never been anything with more just instant regret than that right there, than that moment right there.
Well, it depends though, because if it's a 2-day-old Baja Blast from Taco Bell,
It might still
I'm
hit.
about that life.
It might still hit.
Dude,
That's fair.
I'll never let Baja Blast go 2 days old, man. It's just too good. It's liquid gold, man.
It really,
Liquid
I don't
sapphire.
know what kind of crack they put in that shit, dude, but it is, yeah, there's no doubt it is fucking good.
Dog food.
No, that's the food.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's the
Yeah, that's the food. They probably actually do put a little crack in there. That's why it's so good.
And what was it? Was it Burger King was using like stray horses for cattle?
Were they?
Yeah,
I'm
No,
pretty sure Taco Bell with dog
Yeah.
food. Like they got found actually putting in like Purina.
yeah, no, Taco Bell was dog food.
Taco Bell was putting horse meat in their tacos.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay, so to be fair though, if you're gonna go with a dog food brand, Purina's probably the best of like the chains.
Oh, the chains?
Yeah. What's better than Purina?
It's called Signature at Green Spot in Omaha. They sell it. Ad drop apparently. But like my girlfriend's cousins with the owner, and it's all organic. But here's the kicker: is like there's so many different meats. I fed my dog kangaroo meat all last month.
Yo, that's fucking awesome.
Dude, it's great. They have everything there, and it's like sealed. And I was at a party with the owner of the place for somebody's 50th birthday party, and she's yelling at the owner, like, "Do you know what's in this Purina? There's grain. Dogs shouldn't be eating grain." And I'm like, "Heck yeah, my dog's eating straight kangaroo."
I don't even know where I could get kangaroo for me as a human besides like.
I want to try, man. Like
Outback?
Get it in a heartbeat.
Can you get it at
Yeah.
Outback?
Maybe.
Like fairs?
Kangaroos are like a nuisance in Australia, man.
Yeah,
they ain't
are they
endangered.
really?
Like, yeah, they're like fucking raccoons out there. Like, except they're out there in the
way
daytime.
more dangerous.
Do you
Yeah,
remember
they're out there in the
Emu
day.
War?
The Emu War. No, what's
Have
that?
you not heard of the Emu War?
What's that?
All right, so this is a very fun fact that doesn't matter at all. But post World War I, Australia had a surplus of army guys and guns, and they also had a surplus of emus near like Perth. And they were fucking up crops, and the girls like, "We're in the army, we're gonna fuck them up." And so then the Australian army got sent out, and out of like they go out the first day, and out of like 20,000 emus, they kill like 10.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they had like two like machine
guns.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
World War I machine guns, dude.
Yeah, and then the machine guns jam. They spend 20,000 munitions, and then they're like, you know what? I got a great idea. Let's mount the machine guns to a Model T truck, and then we'll chase the emus in the fields.
And thus, Al Qaeda was born.
The first r/shitty technical was born by the Australians, dude.
And they declared defeat
against the emus. Wouldn't that suck to lose to the emus?
I don't know. Ask the Aussies.
Fucking
yeah. Australia can't even beat fucking emus in a war, dude.
They're about to go to war with China too, aren't they?
Oh man, China's definitely gonna make allies with the emus, dude.
Wait, why is
I don't know.
Emus going to war with China?
They've just been talking hella shit, and like I'm like, dude, like you're like China. When I think China, I think like, you know, horrific human rights violations and ruthless dictators. When I think Australia, I think Steve fucking Irwin, man. Like, that's not gonna be much of a fight.
That's not a knife.
That's Crocodile Dundee.
This
close
is a
enough.
war crime.
Like, what are you gonna go out and like discover the indigenous animals? Like, no, man. Like, come on. Like,
Gonna hit him with that didgeridoo, man.
You know, there's didgeridoos and there's didgeridon'ts, and that right there.
don't fuck with
that was a
China. Yeah,
didgeridoo.
not if you're Australia.
Yeah, Australia doesn't really have that big of a dick to be swinging around when it comes to world politics. Like,
They lost the emus, as we just found out.
Yeah. Like, dude,
It's
like
crazy history. It's a real war.
I don't understand this, man, because like, you know, regardless of your positions on like civilians owning firearms, man, I would think if any fucking place in the world where you would want civilians to be armed against like literally everything in nature, that place can kill you, you would want it to be Australia, man. Like, dude, like the fucking trees can kill you there.
For
You know what I
shit,
mean?
for sure, man. Like
The
everything.
eucalyptus trees.
Like, look, I've had people tell me about like how in Omaha we have fucking robins and stuff being all cool, just chirping there. They've got like magpies that swoop on you every time you walk by them.
Yeah,
It's
what
like
is the
the
deal with the
prehistoric-
magpie?
The prehistoric period never ended is almost what it's like there. What is a magpie? I don't even know what that is.
Well, it's like a very aggressive bird, but yeah, they do like swoop on the people there. And they have like these big, like the size of this microphone, which is about the size of an average black penis.
Maybe in width, not length, unless we're counting the cord going all the way back to the soundboard.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you had like a 20-foot penis?
It would
and you had to,
hurt.
like ball it up
That
to leave
know
the
how you-
house.
how you could
It'd
function.
be totally
How would you be in the
unusable, man.
bathroom?
You couldn't go to the bathroom. You couldn't have sex.
Yeah. Like it'd just be fucking useless, man. It'd just be like a big tumor, basically.
It's
You
like
go,
they-
you go to the bathroom in the restaurant, you sit at the table, you have to like unpipe it.
Well, it's like they say like bats, like the size of their testicles compared to their body. Like if a human had the same comparison of testicles to body size, your balls would be like the size of bowling balls.
You know what? I'm down for that.
I know, God.
I'm
no.
fine with that. I'll use
Imagine
them.
wearing a jock strap that's like that big, dude. Like shit, that's like a jock purse, man.
I will do that just like Randy Marsh in South Park, and I will bounce on those testicles straight to the medicinal marijuana
Well,
shore.
I mean, like you'd have to like pull them up, so like everyone would have like testicles tucked. So like men would basically look like women who frequent Walmarts, right? With, like fat pouring out of their fucking their jeans and shit like that. So like that.
I disagree. I think if men had that big of balls, we would not cover them up.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I
Just
think
like
it'd be
our
like
I don't think
women's
we'd care
breasts.
enough.
We'd be
I
like,
think
this is too inconvenient.
Fair enough. Yeah.
We'd definitely be showing off our balls like cleavage, like women show off their boob cleavage,
Yeah,
dude.
check me out, babe.
We'd be wearing like V-necks that show it real low down there.
V-necks on your jeans.
Yeah, you're like having your fly, you know, zip down all the way so you can see the little ball cleavage you got there.
Jesus Christ.
By the way, I think the most attractive way to flash somebody is just the balls. I'm pretty
That's too
sure.
much work.
Don't quote me. It's not sexual assault if you just show the balls.
They're not a sexual organ.
Are they really not?
Well, or no, they are. No, it's boobs that supposedly aren't a sexual organ. But I'm like, People like that's like the oldest feminist argument is that tits aren't a sexual organ, and I'm like, grab a chick's tits during sex and then grab your man's tits during sex. He's
Caleb,
not
stop.
gonna.
Hey,
he's
I'm
not
not
gonna
arguing
moan.
with
Caleb,
him, man.
we're trying to
I'm all
free the
for it.
nipple.
Show the boobs, dude. No, well, don't be arguing against
No,
it,
I'm
man.
fine
We're
with.
so close to
I'm
this
fine
being
with
a
it
thing.
too. I'm
Go to
just
a
like,
rave. It is the thing.
what's that?
Go to a rave. They're free.
Men moaning when you grab their tits.
Oh, I mean, you probably they're on X. You're probably high out there going, oh yeah.
See, Zach Bravietti really wants to start a rave bar because there's
What?
none here, like a rave club, because there's none here.
He doesn't even rave.
I know. And
He's
I'm
just,
like,
in it for the he's just in it for the money, man.
No, man,
I
he was-
rave.
he was trying to get me after a show that I did with him. He was trying to get me to go to a fucking rave with you in someone's basement.
Wait, what rave? What time frame?
I don't.
are
It
we
was like a
talking?
couple weeks ago.
No, it wasn't a basement. It was a warehouse on 16th Street
Even-
by the grain mill.
Even
Those
better.
great raves. Great
Even
raves by the
better.
grain mill.
Even better.
That just sounds like a fucking like your standard rave there. Yeah, the abandoned warehouse by the
Oh,
grain
man.
mill, dude.
It had such a good potential to be great. Like the people started showing up, but then they just kept playing like house techno. And I don't know about you, but I don't go to a rave to hear yeah. No, I go to a gay bar to hear that music. I want some weird wubs that make me question my existence.
See, I haven't gone to the gay bar since I went with Nick and his wife for her birthday, and I was assaulted in the restroom.
Congratulations.
Thank
How
you.
was it?
I went into pee. I've told the story. I feel like I've told it 100 times. So our listeners are probably like, oh, Jesus Christ, here we go again. But like, I went into the bathroom to pee, and this dude walks in, fucking empty bathroom. It was the max. Empty bathroom.
Yeah.
Guy walks in and fucking goes to the urinal right next to me, looks over in my urinal. He's like, you got a nice cock, man. And I'm like, thanks, but that's not really my thing. And he's like, it's okay. You can swing that way for one night or something like that. And then he just reaches over and proceeds to just grab my dick.
Nice.
And I shoved him off of me. And like, I was like, dude, get the fuck. And at this point, people were coming in. And I was like, I was ready to punch him. I was mad. You don't just, like, if a man went and did that to a woman, like, he'd go to jail for that shit. And he'd get shot. And
to
nobody
to the guy out there that fondled Caleb, nice. Keep up the rape.
Caleb's a real fucking friend, man. My wife wanted to go spend her 21st birthday at the fucking Max, which for all of our non-Omaha people, that is like the gay club of
The
Omaha.
only gay club.
Yeah,
Pretty
dude.
much,
And
yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna get fucking roped into doing this and have to be like the DD or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna have any fun at the fucking gay bar, man.
Where they
I don't
have
like
pool.
going to clubs.
They do.
No,
You
they
can just
did they?
abandon
I didn't
all of
see
your
that
friends
shit.
up top. Abandon
For-
all your friends. I have
From
a
what I
story
saw,
about
it was
the Max.
what I saw. It was 3 dance floors and a bar. And me and Caleb were just at the bar the whole night, just
Yeah.
like, bro.
It-
This is...
You go up top, there's another bar, and there's a pool place, and there's a private bathroom. And there's
Oh,
one time
Jesus.
that I was tripping my balls off, and I went to the Max, and like I'm wearing like these neon blue shorts or whatever. I go into the stall where Caleb got fondled at.
No,
and
it was
there
the
was
urinal.
no toilet paper, and you know how psychedelics might mess up your stomach. Well, my stomach wasn't calling, so I find this private bathroom. Now I'm laying waste to this bathroom, like it is smelly. And this gay guy walks in with some other gay guys and goes,
Oh, no.
"Blowjob time!"
God.
And then, and then he gets a whiff of what I was
Nothing kills the
And he's
moment
like,
quite like.
Oh hell no!
Listen, I think Zach Bravietti had a bit about how he takes a shit and then masturbates before he flushes because he likes the smell of his shit turns him on.
Like what?
It was a bit. I don't
He
think
needs to
it's true.
keep doing that bit.
It's a bit, but like you can tell that when he wrote that, like when he came, because every comic, like every joke comes from some type of experience in life, whether it's something you saw on TV or something you did or whatever. You can tell that he was jerking off after he took his shit, realized that he forgot to flush, and was like, you know what, this would be a funny bit. That's 100% where that came from. Like that's
That's
absolutely
hilarious, dude.
that's absolutely where that bit came from. But no, it was nice going to the gay bar with you, man, because like people thought we were together, because it was just me and you. But every time you'd get up to go to the bathroom or whatever, like I'd have dudes buying me drinks. So it was.
See, that's why I like going to the gay bar. It's
Yeah.
a good gauge. How good's my outfit?
Yeah, no. And the bartender come up to be like, "Hey, so and so over there said he wanted to buy you a drink." I'm like, "If I can watch you make it, that's cool, man. Like that's fine with me. I've been roofied once, and I'll never do it again." So
I would get roofied again.
I know people
it's
that
a
take
fun time.
I
That
know people
won't
that
remember.
take roofies for fun, man.
Dude, Tom Segura did.
I don't know
Tom
about that.
Segura used to like drink it, and he ended up in a hospital, and it was on an episode of This Is Not Happening.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a great This Is Not
I don't know why
Happening,
anybody
hosted
would
by
do
Ali
that.
Shafir.
I don't know why anybody would do that for fun, man. Like a hangover from getting
'Cause he-
roofies, like the fucking
he got
worst
really
thing
faded.
ever.
What was the thing? Was it Bert Kreischer that Ari Shafir dosed?
Probably.
Yeah,
He
it
like
was.
dosed him with Molly as a joke, and it fucked him up for like a week.
Dude.
Bert had never done Molly before.
Because he's too busy drinking.
Yeah, and he dosed his drink with Molly, and it wasn't like they were out partying kind of thing. It was like they were doing a podcast at 3 p.m, and this guy had to go have dinner with his wife and kids after that.
That would be
It was-
hilarious.
It was like he's like after that he had to get on the plane and shit like that. Who's the comic from Omaha that tells the bit about he was coming back from Vegas and he realized he had like 300 milligrams of edibles in his suitcase and he didn't want to get arrested by TSA, so he had to eat them all in line.
Besides Kill Diedrich, I didn't know there was other comics from Omaha that made it out of Omaha.
No, he's probably still in Omaha.
Oh, I don't know, Cameron. No, Cameron's too lightweight. Speaking of that, why are Omaha comedians getting very sensitive lately?
Who?
I'm not gonna name
Oh,
drop
yeah, I wouldn't
people,
want you to do that.
but one of them sent me a death threat one time.
You're gonna have to tell me off the air.
Yeah,
God
yeah.
damn, dude.
Well, here's the thing.
Over like an offensive
you
joke.
know what? No. It was a Facebook status, and I honestly, I don't care, George. I don't care.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was gonna say because like most of the sensitive people, I know who that is. Okay.
Yeah, so he sends me a death threat because he makes a Facebook comment. He makes a post and it says, "I'm done taking L's. I'm gonna leave them in the past." And for fun information, he has 2 L's in his name.
Is that what you told him?
Yeah, and I'll change his name to Killa.
One
And
letter.
so I said, "Good for you, George Kia."
That's
And
funny,
so-
man.
So then he sends me like this whole paragraph about how he's like gonna, yo, bro, my brothers wanted to come touch you, but I told them not. And I was like, what? I'm like, come through. And then I sent him a quote because most of the comics in Omaha have heard me express like I've been telling a lot of people, I'm like, I've really been thinking about it in a drive-by on a motorcycle. Very easy to do. So I think that got back to him as like, hey, he's been talking about this drive-by thing. And then he apologizes to me.
Oh my god.
Well, there's people that think they're like, and it's not just in this scene, it's everywhere. Like nobodies that think they're like Chappelle. Like I know somebody.
Not.
There's a certain comic from this scene who's registered as a sex offender. It's like one of
Really?
5. Yeah,
You gotta tell me off air who it is.
get slapped silly. Millie?
Oh, really? No, he's not even a comic. He doesn't count.
No, because he stopped when everyone found out. So I don't know what happened, but this dude pled down to sex trafficking. You don't plead down to sex trafficking
What'd you
unless
do
there
first?
are horrible charges against you.
That's crazy, man.
Like if you ask me, like, hey, you can plead down to sex trafficking. Like that's something I don't want associated with my name. I'm gonna fight that. I'm either gonna go to jail for a long time or I'm gonna get off spot free. I am not pleading down to sex trafficking.
What if he plead down from necrophilia? And
Christ.
he's like, this is going to be a better option for me.
Bestiality.
Honestly, necrophilia is probably better than sex
Yeah, at
trafficking.
least
I
necrophilia
wouldn't judge you
Yeah,
as
victim's
much.
dead.
Yeah, I
Right.
wouldn't. I'd be like,
I would think you're a
okay, you worked in
weirdo, but not.
morgue.
I think you're a weirdo, but not a horrible fucking person.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. So this individual pled down to sex trafficking, and there was a group chat. This guy made a skit, right?
Don't
And
forget his Burger King skit that he did right after George Floyd died.
Oh, it was McDonald's, I thought.
No, it was the Burger King off of Dodge.
Was this where he said that he was beaten by like men yelling racial slurs?
Yeah,
it
and he
was, like,
started
all
some
fake?
shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he played Boy You Cried Wolf with he played Juicy Smollett. Juicy,
man, you've been hanging out at the gay bar a little bit too much.
That's what Dave Chappelle calls him. That's what Dave Chappelle calls him, Juicy Smollett. He pulled a Jussie Smollett, but like he's a violent criminal, and it's not as it wasn't as good of a story.
Dude, I had my hippie friends try to go defend him, and like they were all about it. Like, let's go protest. And it's like, maybe not this guy.
He was on the news and shit, and he was infamous for like going and like rigging contests. Like he'd have like 5 buddies come, and it'd be on crowd noise, and they just get drunk and scream.
Oh, like roast battles and stuff like that.
Yeah, he'd go home with like $200.
He tried to fight me over an elevator joke.
What?
Yeah. So like when I first started comedy, I had this bit that involved like if I'm in the elevator, I'm not gonna wait for you. And apparently he had a bit that also mentioned elevators.
Oh
and
my
so then
God.
He comes up to me at Barley Street, which was in a local open mic that's no longer existing. And he's like, "You stole my joke, cuz." And I'm like, "What joke?" And he's like, "That elevator bit, son." And he's like standing over me, and I'm like, "Bro, I have recordings from when I first started that joke. I didn't see it. How's your joke?" I was like, "You saw me last night. You know how it goes." Bro, I didn't fucking listen to you. You're horrible. I don't want to fall asleep before I go on stage.
He fucking and of course we're not dropping any names, right? Because we don't want to start drama and bullshit. So there's another comment. So there was a group chat. He created this like
you have enough guns to start all the drama
you
want.
Guns, but I don't want to use them if I don't have to. But there was this group chat with a bunch of comics, and he started it, or he started this group chat on Facebook, and he sent this skit he had done, like a comedy skit, like I do them sometimes when I'm bored or high or whatever. And so he made this one. I appreciate it, thank you. And I guess it was bad. I never saw it, and he sent it to a bunch of people.
It was bad. He's not funny.
He sent it to a bunch of people. Jeez, you're trying to kill me. He sent it to a bunch of people, and he like wanted their replies, and nobody replied. No one did. And then Bill Queen replied, and I'm only going to name drop Bill Queen in this because I know he won't care. But Bill Queen replied, and he's like, "Jesus, so and so." He's like, "Do you have
for the free publicity, man?"
Yeah. He's like, he goes, "Jesus, so and so, do you have names for all the roaches in your apartment?" And this guy just freaks it. It's everyone just starts reacting. And this guy freaks the fuck out, and he adds someone else to the conversation. He adds him to it, like for backup. And then you see so and so was added by so and so to the chat, and then like 2 seconds later, so and so has left the chat. He's like, "No, this wasn't the battle." And
my table.
This guy the guy that we're talking about that made the skit shows up at 2 o'clock in the morning to the other guy's house that jumped out of the group chat with 2 carloads of his buddies on his lawn trying to get him to come out.
Wait, I thought it was E. Millie that jumped on so-and-so's yard.
That's what I just said, but you just name dropped the guy.
We've been talking about him. We've already name dropped him.
Yeah, no, E. Millie, yes, jumped in on so-and-so, and this is all secondhand, so if it's not true or someone wants to say whatever,
I'll go on the record to say I believe it.
I believe it too, but it's all hearsay.
You can come
right?
to my house or Kale's apartment.
Our audience needs to do what they will with it. But I guess it was to the point that the other guy's neighbor had to come out with a gun.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
Jesus fucking
What I heard of the story
dude.
too is who is not to be named anymore. Also like removed a shrub from his yard.
What? He took his bushes out.
That's such a fucking petty thing.
I heard he
Jesus
did like
Christ.
some gardening too.
He what? He did what?
I heard he like removed like a shrub that was in the front of the house.
Petty vandalism? Like kids? Dude,
Yeah.
I don't know 2 carloads of guys that are gonna go out at 3 a.m. if you like beat my mom up, much less insulted one of my videos. Like, that would do that, and it's like,
and they were best friends.
I know,
too.
they were
They were
friends.
so close.
it all went down because he didn't have his back.
What a fucking
He
goofy
took his
dude,
shrub.
man.
What else did he do? Like take the top off his bird bath? Like what the fuck?
Well, I was worried he was gonna mess with some of the animals around.
He
He
kicked
took
the
a
gnome
hoe
over.
to the shrub.
He kicked the gnome over or some shit like that. Dude, no.
Who does
so-
that? I heard it was in the middle of the day too.
I thought it was the middle of the night.
It probably was.
I don't know. Regardless, dude, no, I'm
He's
not
gonna try
concerned.
to come to your apartment to mess you up. He's gonna get lost because I've gotten lost
That's
twice now.
That's exactly it. Is he'll get lost. He won't be able to find it here
You'll be watching
realistically.
his
If it comes here
caravan.
late, if it comes late at night, that
Caravan
fucking
of gardeners.
if it comes late at night, that tow guy is gonna
Oh,
just fucking
yeah.
tow his car away.
The tow
dude.
truck driver will have him in 30 seconds of within him
The
parking.
tow
at
truck
this
guys
restaurant.
probably think he's there to do landscaping. He's there to get put to mulching.
No, it doesn't matter, man. That guy will pull over the fucking, or boot up the guy who's actually there contracted by the apartment company.
Dude, the security guard. I know people. The security guard has pulled over like has
Wait,
or not
the
security.
security
Sorry, not
guard
security guard.
pulls them
No,
over?
sorry. I'm on the next story already. The tow truck driver who has towed people who live in the apartment just for money, and like
Savage.
people have complained and shit. No, we have a security guard. That's what it reminded me of. He's like security
How
guards. It's
fat
like
is a security guard?
here.
Yeah.
So they're contracted to drive through our complex every 30 minutes. I have seen them once in the last year. They don't come through.
Have I ever told you my story that with
It's
the
allied
security
security.
guard? So it's after a union event. Me and another union buddy, we get all messed up. And my truck, my full-size truck, doesn't have power steering, so we make it back drunk in the middle of the night back to the complex. Well, apparently there was a robbery that had happened in that apartment complex, and while I'm digging through my truck looking for cigarettes,
Yeah.
the security guard comes up to the other guy and he's like, hey, there's a robbery. Can I see an ID? He's like, I got an ID for you. And he just throws all of the contents of his wallet at this security guard, who is a 50-plus-year-old round person.
That's what they
It's like,
usually
what, he's
are.
gonna see his ID? Like, what the fuck's he gonna do? Run it through the fucking
Yeah,
security
there's
guard
nothing
He's like,
they
database?
I live here, motherfucker. But it gets worse. So he does all of that. A confrontation kind of happens. My chest bigger. And so then I look at him and I'm illegally parked with my truck that doesn't have power steering. And I'm like, hey, man, now I got to pull this car into the stall. So we do. And the security guard, dumb on his part, comes back. And so he tries to get out of the car. My buddy slams the car door on him.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out mace and he maces my buddy, hits me. And
Jesus
my
fucking
buddy
Christ.
straight picks up this round 50-year-old man. I want to stress that he was round.
He's probably not supposed to have mace as a security guard. First off.
They had more.
Why not?
He picks him up straight out of the ground, just body slams and just starts wailing on him. And then his partner comes and pulls a literal gun on me. And I know it was a gun because I had to do a police report about it.
Oh, shit.
And he's like, stay there, put your hands in the air. So I put my hands in the air. And I'm holding a full gallon of vodka. And I'm like, hey man, I'm good, but you should probably check on your buddy who is just getting railed by this guy. And then D gets done with it and he's like, let's go. And so we go back to his apartment, and then I'm like, I just post up next to the door and start slamming vodka like the cops are surely gonna come.
Right. Yeah.
No,
Never.
they
came?
never came. I passed out drunk, and then months later, he gets pulled over and charged with it.
With assault of the
Jesus
security
Christ.
guard?
Yeah, it was all security guard, and he's fine. He's fine.
Well, yeah, it's not like assaults on a real cop. They don't fucking care.
Yeah,
That's like if I were to smack you right now, it'd be the same thing, right?
The judge was
it's-
like, "You look like an understandable white guy. You should do weekends in jail."
Well, honestly, man, security guards, they're not really people, It's like
No.
if you slapped if you were to just walk up to some dude on the street and punch him, it'd be more of a charge than a security guard. I used to have this security guard where I worked, and this guy was your typical Paul Blart, right? Overweight, took his job way too fucking seriously, right? And I remember his big thing was the parking. If you didn't people would pull up and he'd go up to you and he'd go, ma'am, I don't know where you come from, but where I come from, we park between the lines. I remember we had a gas leak one time. A fucking gas leak.
It wasn't his farts?
No, we had to evacuate. The fucking fire department had to show up and everything. The MUD guy comes to like search for what the source of the gas leak was. This guy makes him get back in his car and fix his parking.
No way, the MUD guy.
Yes. Who's coming there to fix
What?
that gas? He made him get back in the car and fix his parking.
Can you imagine the apartment complex is on fire and the fire department comes like, that's not fire department parking. You need to move over there.
Well, funny thing is, like, realistically, you could just tell that guy, like, dude, he's a fucking dick. And he's like, if he's gonna like impede you of trying to do your job, I'd just be like, all right, I'm gonna fucking leave then, and I'm gonna like tell the people.
Can you imagine
Exactly.
that MUD guy going back to his boss after the apartment complex blows up?
This was at a job.
Yeah.
This wasn't at an apartment.
Oh,
but yeah.
okay. So it still blows up.
Yeah.
And his boss is like, hey man, I sent you out to that. And he's like, yeah, but they said I couldn't park there. So I just
The
left.
security guard was like, no, dude, you can't do this. I was just like, all right, man, this is your call, not mine.
Your call. I'm gonna
This
take a
guy
lunch.
would pull up to work every day and put a bulletproof vest on. I remember, and then like I kept getting phone calls, and I was a manager, right? So I kept getting phone calls from different random women placed sporadically of this guy going up and asking him to go out to lunch. And I
What?
remember
He was hitting on him?
I kept talking to him every time, and then the third, I'm like, dude, I just got a third call saying that you were hitting on some random woman in the parking lot as she was pulling out. And he's like, well, whoever said it was a liar. He's like, whoever said it was, I'm like, dude.
Unless they said yes.
I'm like, yeah,
In which
exactly.
case, I'm lonely.
I'm like, he was married too. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, you're a security guard, right? Like, you understand how hard it is for me to believe that three women who don't know each other conspired against you.
You don't know each other.
They
Corroborated on a
corroborated
story.
a conspiracy against a security guard, right? So
We're
like,
gonna take him down. He's in a position of power. He needs to be brought down.
They were just in line, like, hey, girl, hey, come here, dude. Hey, you see that guy back there? Yeah, let's fuck this guy.
fuck him. Well, so this dude was leaving. There was this guy that was low functioning autistic. It was a customer that would come in and he just was not out
How
there.
low functioning are we talking?
So like he can drive and do manual labor, but you can't talk to him.
To me, that's high functioning autistic. Get him a backhoe, get him on Emily's crew.
Go out and dig the shrubs up. But so this guy leaves, right? And he had already yelled at him to fix his parking. So the guy leaves, and I hear my security guard go, "Get some help!" And I'm like, I go, dude, did you just tell a customer to get some help? And he's like, I have a right to defend myself, Caleb. He attacked me. And I went, he attacked you. Like physically? He goes, he attacked me verbally. And I just started laughing. And
He
I'm like,
should be a cop. That sounds like cop mentality right there.
So
He attacked me. Bop, bop.
this all came
Loud noise.
this all came to
He
fruition.
sneezed a little too loud, so I shot him in the back.
Well, because the problem was it's such a pain in the ass because every time you got a new security guard, you had to read them new orders and shit. And it's like you got someone that consistently shows up. You don't want to go through the process of having to hire a new one. So
That's why they don't fire me.
right, exactly. It's harder to fire someone than it is to hire someone. So
I just keep showing up.
this guy showed up, and it was a guy that owned a restaurant right in Omaha. And this security guard had gone to this guy's restaurant apparently and received what he deemed to be poor customer service.
What?
So he tracks this guy down in the parking lot
The owner of the restaurant.
in front of his children. The
In front of
security
his
guard tracks the
children?
owner of the restaurant down in front of his children in the parking lot and
The
goes,
parking lot of the restaurant that he owns.
no, of our business that I worked at, where he
Okay.
was a security guard. And he goes, hey, you think I forget, motherfucker? And he tries to fight him in front of his children. He shoved him up against his car, and the restaurant owner was about to drop him. Somebody from like Walgreens had to come out and break it up because the restaurant owner was going to whoop this guy's ass.
Take that, CVS.
You don't fuck with the guy in front of his kids. That's just something you don't do. Like I remember I was playing basketball one time, and like we got the court for an hour to play full court at this YMCA, right? And once the hour was up, you had to give it back for people to shoot around. This guy shows up with like his 10 or 11-year-old daughter, and they're shooting around. It's just like chubby middle-aged white guy, right? So there's this other guy.
So he's a baller.
Oh, of course, right? He's just shooting with his daughter.
No.
And can you hear him? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Okay, because he's
start
talking into the side.
yelling
He's
more.
talking in the side of his microphone. I didn't know.
yelling more.
You're good. But so he fucking. There's this guy we're playing with, and he's a white guy too, but he's like covered in tats, and he's like muscle builder or bodybuilder kind of guy. And we were in the wrong. We were supposed to get off the court, right? Well, he starts yelling at this guy's like, hey man, we're supposed to be able to shoot around, your hour's up. And he's like, fuck you, man, you want to go talk like a bitch, go talk to your hoe ass wife like that. And he just rips this guy's testicles off in front of his daughter. And I'm like, dude, this guy would kill you.
Hold on, play that back. A man physically ripped another man's testicles off.
Verbally rips his testicles. I just emasculates him is the point I'm trying to make. Just calls him a bitch, tells him to fucking step up.
He was flaunting his balls like they were overly big.
Call back. He tells him to step up and do something. I'm like, dude, this guy would kill you. But the fact that he's talking to you like this in front of your daughter, you gotta punch him. You gotta try. You can't just take the fall here, man. Because your daughter, if you get your ass kicked in front of your daughter after you try to punch this guy, she will have so much more respect for you than if you just let him talk to you this way in front of her.
Really?
In my opinion, yes.
See, I am scared of getting into a fight in front of the 5-year-old. And like just getting it handed to me. Like
really?
I watched a fight between an old meth head and a guy with very saggy pants who did not keep his guard up. And this old meth head just like did one of these and he like put his knuckles near his eyes and then just straight him. Like he didn't use any motion. He just straight him and he went down like, I don't know, like the walls of, what was it, Goliath, Bethlehem?
Jericho.
He went down like
Building
Jericho. 7. Yeah.
But there was no controlled explosive.
I should know. I did 12 years of theology. I wish I should.
Seriously? Yeah, that's right. You went to private school.
I did do a lot of years of private school and then got expelled because I'm a thug. So this guy goes down and then he gets back up and he tries to like fondle his way back into the fight and he just falls right back down. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. Because he was a young guy. He was like 22 fighting this 50-year-old meth head. Easy win for him if he kept his guard up, right? He thought the same way. Nope, not your day, buddy. You know what's bad with somebody else when a mom has to like rip you off of the fight, like, no, man, you don't want no more of this.
Nick, would you fight in front of your daughter?
Hell yeah, dude. I'll fight in front of my fucking daughter. I'll be like, hey, watch this, my thing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I would too, but I would be worried. I'm like, oh man, dude.
It's high risk. It's high risk.
I don't know. Here's my thing.
I'm gonna bite his ear off. I'm Mike Tyson.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like a guy might knock me out. He might beat me up, but like he's gonna be feeling it the next morning, man. Like
I'm never take my testicles out of my fly.
Yeah, I'll pop one of those fucking nuts, dude. I'll fucking bite off a chunk of his nose like Mike Tyson or some shit. Like he might fucking win. But he's going to regret fighting me.
Scale of 1 to 10. If you got into a fist fight before it started, that man unzipped his pants, whipped out his testicles, and then put up his dukes. How scared are you?
Oh, I'm aiming right for the testicles.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I would kick him right in his fucking testicles.
You guys would?
I don't give a fuck.
Thanks for giving me a target.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What if he's expecting that? What if all he does is train for the kick to the balls? And he's like, here's the bait, bitch.
If he did that, the only thing I'd be worried about is like he's a fucking robot, man, and I'm like be like kicking a big
Steven Seagal. He's a sex offender, Steven Seagal.
No, it's just the balls. He's not a sex offender. I'm pretty sure.
I hope this guy wouldn't whip his balls out in front of my daughter because that would piss me off even more, dude. So.
Oh, if a guy whips his balls out in front of your daughter, I think you have the right to shoot him. I'm not sure how that works, but at least in my code, I wouldn't fault you for it.
I wouldn't recommend kicking him in the balls because I really think he's planning for that.
Right.
I'd go for punching him in the face.
Well, my guess is if you're showing your balls to a child, you probably can't fight very well. Like that.
Probably depends on how much speed you've had that day.
See, that's my dude. I don't have
speed's a killer.
I don't have
to the other people.
I don't have any kids, but like I don't have any kids, but like I'm not a fighter, right? Like I'm not gonna fight with my hands if I don't have to. I'm gonna remove myself. But like, if you flash your dick or your nuts or whatever in front of my kid, I'm skipping the hands, dude. The gun's coming out. Like that's what's happening. Like
Omaha judges are when it comes to that kind of stuff.
To own handguns.
What's that?
That must be nice to own handguns.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Yes, I've been convicted of a violent offense. I have to walk around the world with a shotgun at all times because that's safer somehow.
What were you saying about Omaha judges?
I was gonna say, no, they're normally pretty cool about pedophile stuff when it comes to like if you beat up kill a dude over that song or something like that, or almost kill a guy over that, they usually let you.
Well,
Speaking of that, did you hear the recent guy that murdered a pedophile?
Just tracked him down on the sex offender list at random. Just
Yeah.
killed him in his house.
Doing
Did you hear about that?
God's work.
On Facebook.
Did you hear about that?
I didn't, but it's doing God's work, man. Hell yeah.
He found the guy on the sex offender registry. Guy had done like 3 or 4, and of course it's Nebraska where sex offenders, you get fucking time, like double time for good behavior, so you don't sort of fight or rape somebody or sneak weapons or drugs in. You get
gonna
2
rape
days.
in an adult prison.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. He usually is the one getting raped, and rightfully so. But it's like it counts as double, so 5 years is 2.5, and so on and so forth. But like this guy had done like 3 or 4 fucking. Did you hear about this, Nick?
No, but
No.
I mean, this whole thing sounds like Omaha, man. Omaha, you'll get fucking 10 to 12 for possession of pot, but fucking 5 for possession of child pornography.
Weed's the
dude.
bad drug. Pete Ricketts
Yeah.
only wants the drugs that he can kill people in jail with.
Dude, the Ricketts.
No weed.
You know how many 8 balls are rolling through the Ricketts household on a
Bro, he
regular
looks like he
basis?
snorts a shit ton of coke.
He looks
don't
like
he?
an 8-ball. The man is
Yeah.
bald. He looks like an 8-ball of coke.
Pete Ricketts is cleaning up these
Pete
streets,
Ricketts.
all right.
Pete Ricketts, I can see him smoking a fucking thing of meth and then doing a line of heroin and going, I gotta go talk to people about COVID.
I love how every time either gambling or pot is on the ballot,
That's devil's work.
somehow they will manage to resurrect Tom Osborne and remind everyone he's still alive.
Wasn't that wild?
Yeah, every time they want to stop gambling, or now they can't because gambling passed.
Yeah.
But every
Tom
time they want to
Osborne
pass,
came
Tom
out.
Osborne comes out. And he's, I think weed is bad. Like it's just like
None
crazy.
of my
It's so
players
funny 'cause
smoked weed.
My players
Anymore,
just
even
beat up their girlfriends.
And then
anymore,
players kept,
even the
like, oh, we
fucking
smoked a
old
lot of
people,
weed.
even the old people in Omaha don't give a fuck about weed as
No.
much as they used to.
Dude.
man.
My
Like,
boomer conservative mom is pro recreational
see,
marijuana because of the taxes.
The boomers are starting to figure it out because they're realizing it'll lower your taxes allegedly. They're also getting fucked. They're getting to that age where they're getting sore as shit from arthritis, right? And they don't want to be jacked up on a bunch of medications. And they're watching a bunch of their friends die to chemotherapy from the side effects, and they're figuring out that pot can offset that. What's that?
I said that did not happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, and they're figuring out that can offset the side effects of it, and it increases the survival rate by doing so. And now the boomers, like, if
They're
you put
coming
marijuana to the ballot, even in a state like Nebraska, I bet it passes 60-40 on a bad day.
well,
I think that
yeah,
Tom Osborne's part of the silent generation at this point, man.
Oh, he's not a
He's
boomer.
such a
yeah, he's
fucking
not a
grandpa.
boomer. He's a fucking mummy, man. He's part of the like fucking neo fucking pharaoh age in Egypt,
Dude, like, have you seen the liver spots on that guy's face? It's like one of them's gonna do it for
No,
him. One
could
of
you-
them's not gonna be
Is it enough
benign.
to light make a bowl out of it and smoke off?
It's big enough.
I hope they pass it.
Bro.
I hope they pass it in fucking Omaha, man. Maybe people in Omaha chill
Well,
the fuck
Or
out.
Nebraska.
So it's decriminalized here. Like you won't get arrested
Yeah.
for simple possession, but it's still illegal.
I'll
Like, you
pay
can't
money
sell it.
to smoke the first legal marijuana off of Tom Osborne's liver spot.
His corpse.
He doesn't have to be dead. I'll
Do
do
his
it while he's
fucking-
alive. We'll
And
make
nah,
a bowl.
probably by the
We'll do a
time
thing.
that passes, you're gonna have to go to his tomb and fucking smoke over his fucking.
They're gonna
By the
bury
time
Tom
this
Osborne.
podcast comes out, he
They're
might
gonna-
be dead. Have you
they're-
seen the fucker?
They're gonna bury Tom Osborne underneath the N in Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
They're
like,
gonna
fucking
I-
pyramid above him.
I just-
like,
I don't
He's gonna
understand.
Bury him under the end of their no.
Like, look, I grew up a Nebraska fan, so obviously,
no marijuana.
obviously, that's gonna be like the mummy's curse, right? Like you dig Tom Osborne up, and like weed's gonna become like gonna start
Bro,
getting poisoned and shit.
Yeah, but he
what
also
if the
comes back
ultimate-
and wins us a national championship.
What if the ultimate
he's-
get back at Tom Osborne is right as they're like low, they're closing up the casket, they're lowering him
Gay
to bury him in the
sex.
ground. Somebody flicks a fucking roach into his casket and he's buried with a little roach in there.
Do you
Like,
remember?
that, sort of- could you imagine like his whole casket is filled with alcohol because that's what he used to do or whatever, and it just
Yep.
lights up.
Yep.
Like his drug of choice was like just straight ether.
I mean, I'm sure as far as people go too, I'm pretty sure Tom Osborne is so old and dry that he's more flammable than the average person.
He's gotta be.
I'm saying I'm gonna smoke
like,
bomb.
like we're all
might-
like that firewood that's been sitting outside for like a month and it's got rained on. He's like that shit that's been stored in the
stuff
shed.
you buy
it's all
at
dry.
the stuff you buy at Lowe's, the quick fire shit.
He's been
It's worse
treated
than
with
that.
that fucking.
He's the dead tree by the river that you saw when you were
Infested
born.
with termites. Yeah, exactly.
And they finally cut him down.
Maybe
they want
we're-
medical marijuana. They're like, we're tired of looking at this tree.
Maybe we're onto something, guys. Maybe it's not like
We should smoke marijuana off of Tom Osborne's dead
maybe-
body.
maybe what
You
I'm
heard
saying
it
is
first.
maybe he's not anti-weed because of the psychoactive effects. Maybe he's anti-weed because he understands that he needs to eliminate the amount of flammable materials going through the air.
He's worried about getting ashed on and set on fire.
My wife's gonna light me ablaze.
You know,
Not
with all
the
due
new
respect, Tom,
way.
with all due respect, Tom, that's a very real fear. And now
Yeah,
I
fuck
see
you, Tom.
it seems a little more. It seems a little bit more logical now. The way you put it.
Cheers
that
to
way.
that. I'll put a blunt on Osborne's grave.
What do you think he does like on the 4th of July when it's like raining ash and shit?
He stays at home with the dogs.
He hides
in the same kennel.
He hides like a
He
scared
cuddles
dog
them.
in the closet.
He comes and goes, they're not
24
today.
24-hour bath.
I did not lead this state to this many national championships to be lit up by a candle.
And they can't even light candles in his house.
Those tank things that you give to the kids are dangerous. They're the same as reefer.
That man's a walking fucking propane tank explosion just waiting to happen, dude.
Oh god. He's so full of shit, not propane. He's natural gas. He's full of methane.
Tom Ethanol Osborne.
Can you imagine if we shit on him in 97? We would be lynched.
Oh, it'd be like the equivalent of shitting on Scott Frost now, except they actually won games back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but people are starting to come around with Scott Frost. They don't give a fuck about him.
No,
a lot
people
of the
are-
people. People are also like, oh, we got to give him a chance because we're just a losing team. If we hire another coach, we're gonna get a shitty coach.
Yeah.
They are. If we
It's-
fire
no, that's what
Scott
they're
Frost
saying.
right now, we're gonna get another coach. Like, well, you guys just keep firing coaches.
Yeah.
So I guess I give
Well,
it my best go.
So, like, I think if the money's right, anybody will go anywhere. To be honest,
Shit, I'll coach Nebraska football.
so will I. I mean, I guarantee we'll win 3 fucking games.
Not
if
for
that's
me.
the standard.
Now my quarterback is lighting up a doobie this first snap.
Tom Osborne would have you removed himself.
I'm gonna fight him in a bare knuckle boxing match.
Yeah, Tom, if you want to remove me from the position, you're gonna have to beat me in a fight, dude. Let's go.
Well,
Come
there's
on.
a
Bro,
key to
I'll
beating
blow on
him.
him and his whole right arm would turn
It
to
just
dust.
disappears, disintegrate. There's a key to beating Tom Osborne in a boxing match, man. You
Just
have you let
involves living.
no, man. You let him walk out first, and then you have like fireworks go off while you're walking out to your entry music, and it's over. He bursts
You
into
go-
flames. You win by forfeit.
You go to hit him in the ribs, though, all the fucking scarabs are gonna crawl out of his chest and eat your arm off, like in the fucking Mummy, dude.
The mummy. That's what I was gonna say.
Bro, what happened to that mummy actor, by the way? What was
Brendan
his name?
Fraser?
Yeah, Brendan Fraser.
Isn't he fat?
I don't
think
know.
he
He's
got
a
fat,
very
then he got
sad man now.
But again, I don't think he's a sad man because that mummy has to bring in a lot of money.
Oh yeah, he's
I think he,
massive
like-
now.
Speaking
Well,
of
I
the
think
other comment, though. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I think like he ended up getting like a divorce or some shit that like really jacked him up or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
What
about the Bill
I'm
Gates
pretty sure he's a
divorce?
sad man.
Bill Gates? Epstein?
Yeah. What was the deal that she quoted the fact of his relationship with Epstein was a reason for the divorce? Bitch, that wasn't a reason. You knew. Where
No.
are you going? Oh, I'm going
You
to my
only
buddy
care
Epstein's
now.
house. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
now
she
let me
saw
drag out the
Bezos'
dirt.
wife. She's like, wow. And then that science teacher, good for freaking that guy.
Well, they haven't
I'm
been
predicting
talking
it
about
right now. Leaked photos, 13-inch cock. That science teacher is very hung.
They haven't
Very
been talking
good.
about the one. What's the name of the chick again? That was like his like right hand woman that was like helping him recruit all these girls?
Gail.
Ghislaine, yeah. So they haven't
I
been
like
talking
Gail.
about the Maxwell chick very much. So maybe there's something going on. Like maybe he's gonna get some fucking happen to him or something over.
No, they're just talking about her so they can figure out how to murder her.
She's singing like a canary though, because if you haven't noticed, there have been a ton of sex trafficking busts since she got arrested. So I feel like she's singing. But
Good.
Tim Dillon, it reminds me, Tim Dillon went on the Joe Rogan Experience with a shirt that said "Free Ghislaine." It was Tim Dillon. It was Alex Jones. It was Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, and Tim Dillon. And Tim Dillon had a shirt on that said "Free Ghislaine." And Joe's like, why are you wearing that shirt, man? And Tim Dillon's like, well, it's because I believe all women.
Dude.
Of course.
Remember when I got doxxed and got canceled?
Yeah, he got doxxed. We kind of talked. We briefly brought it up on the show because I was somehow a part of that.
Yeah, you did. You put me on a show.
I got messaged by this girl, and from like fucking Spain or something like that, and she's like, do you know Justen Healy? And I'm like, yeah, what about him?
I'm the shit.
And she's like, well, he posted this joke. I'm like, in a Facebook group. I'm like, okay, how can I help you? She's like, well, I see that you book shows in Omaha, so I'm just letting you know that that's the type of people that are doing, or he's the type of person that shouldn't be on shows, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't text her back or nothing. I took a screenshot of me messaging Justin saying, hey, do you want to do our next show? And then I just replied with that.
Like, fuck yeah.
And she's like, she just goes off on me, talking about what a horrible person I am. She's like, so you think people should be able to make jokes about whatever they want? And I'm like, yeah.
It was a hilarious joke about rape.
I said, I think people should
be
be
very
able
clear about that. I didn't even make a joke. I just tagged a tag group.
Yeah, it wasn't even
that
a joke.
I thought was funny. And then I got kicked off of a show that very night by another comedian who was like, I want you to make a public apology about this. And I was like, what?
It was
for
a show.
tagging a tag group?
It was a show at the Backline. We name drop them all the time. It's okay.
Yeah.
The Backline doesn't work with me.
Then
It's
I
fine.
brought up Carmelo Anderson, who is an amazing comic, who has amazing bits. I love her to death. And she has this long bit about being a serial rapist.
Yeah, about how she wants to rape men. It's hilarious.
And so I told the person that kicked me off the show, I was like, what about Carmelo? Carmelo is literally pointing at me and goes, I'm gonna rape you.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
And he goes, oh, well, there's context with that one. What? There's no context to it.
The context is, we know what the context is, bro.
There's no context.
The context is you're a straight white male.
I feel like that was all it was.
Like, that's why I still somehow, I was trying to figure out how I get on shows at certain venues that are super left, and there's nothing left about my stand-up, right? Like, I'm not political either way, but my stand-up, like, let's be honest, it's not marketed to the woke liberals, right? Or the Christian conservatives, right? But
basically the same people.
They think,
you're geared towards the assholes.
My aesthetic, though, the glasses, the nose ring, the gauged ears, they think I'm gay. That's what it is. They think I'm or gay.
That guy at the bar.
Queer adjacent. That's what they think. That's got to be what it is. That's the only reason these fucking hipster places will keep letting me go on there.
I'm starting to think that you dress this way just to get free drinks at the Max.
Hey, you know what? It worked out. One little known fact: I looked nothing like this until that night at the Max, and it never changed.
Yeah, Caleb. Before that, the day before, I asked him, like, "Hey, you're gonna come?" He had a fucking mullet. He was wearing like a fucking Nike sweatshirt.
Shit, dude.
Some mom jeans from fucking Walmart, and then he showed up that day with the beard all trimmed up, the hair done. I was like, yo, dude, you fucking trying to get some drinks here, huh?
Yeah, that's right. It's all about the free drinks at the Max. That's my whole life is centered
all
around.
of those tattoos done in one day so we could go to the Max.
Well, no, I had to get my Randy Travis lyrics covered up. But other than that. But yeah, I mean, so it's like, so she messaged me this shit, and I don't do the cancel culture bullshit. I literally do not care. Like, if I owned a business and you were to, a business that actually had employees, right? Like, Nick and I own a business, we just don't have employees. So if I owned a business that had employees and somebody made some joke like that, and I don't give a fuck what it says. On principle, I will give that person a raise if you reach out to me.
Show. Here's the crazy thing too, is I used to be leftist. I was right there in the protest. I used to believe in all of it. And then they just came at me. They didn't actually come at me though. They attacked my mom, my girlfriend, the place that I worked
They go
at.
after your job.
But only one person contacted me. It was like, I thought what you said was fucked up. Yeah, only one of them. They contacted everybody else. I got screenshots from my girlfriend. I was in Arbolato's getting a burrito, and Tiffany's showing me her phone blowing up with all these like green-haired women.
Right. Women.
White women with green or other colored hair. And I'm not being racist. That's just who are sending the messages.
Right.
White women with colored hair, also known as second-class citizens.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're like sending me all this shit. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here, Jack. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
No. It never is.
Yeah,
they don't even go to comedy shows, dude.
I've never became friends back like the same way that we were before with that comic since then.
Yeah.
It's just like, make a public apology. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna.
No.
And then my political views went so more towards the center.
That's the case with a lot of people, is like once it hits you, and it's just like calling someone's employer is the most bitch ass thing you can do.
See,
at that point,
if I'm an employer,
no, it's not.
If I'm an employer, there's only two things.
I used to think that.
If I'm an employer, there's only two things that are gonna get me to fire an employee. They're sending me pictures of them, like proof pictures of them at a fucking furry con, like
furry.
In a full fursuit. I will fire them indiscriminately for that.
Well, I just want to say on air, the only genocide I approve is the genocide against furries.
Yes. Or that, either that, or they have to be at like a fucking like Nazi rally in
NAMBLA.
Like, some shit like that in full uniform.
Yeah.
Giving
Nazis
the
are the
speech.
stupidest people I've
Yeah.
ever
And then
met.
I'm like, yeah, this guy's probably.
I meet him in construction. I do. I meet people where they're like, you got to hook me up with your hippie girlfriends, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bro, how do you feel about that black girl won't like what's hanged up in my house?
Jesus
like,
Christ, man.
What the do you have hanged up in your house, bud?
Well, like my thing is like,
and they're always illiterate.
oh yeah, no, that for people that claim to be from the superior race, they are not doing a good job of displaying that. They're fucking
double
morons.
wide isn't superior to a single wide. You're still living in a trailer.
It's like we were talking about before we went on. It's about how it's just lack of education and poverty is the problem. It's not anything to do with anyone's race. Like my thing is like, I'm trying to think of a good way to articulate this, because I totally just lost where I was going.
It's all about whiskey.
It's all that whiskey. It's definitely the whiskey.
I avoided deep conversations by bringing the whiskey.
That's always a good idea.
But I definitely agree. I definitely agree with you. And I think the systemic problem that we have going on right now is not a race-based issue.
No,
I think
it's people that don't have education.
It's an economic issue. You take Omaha, for example. Omaha has a very poor community in North Omaha. And the school district is very poorly funded, so that they don't get fully educated. They don't get the same opportunities as somebody that say West Omaha, which is the richer part of the town, gets. So that they're not the mechanic seems like the best opportunity that they can achieve. Why the West Omaha, a doctor is the best opportunity they can achieve. That's been going on for generations.
Plus, a lot of the people out in West Omaha like know a guy, their fucking uncle's dad owns a fucking company,
owns a law firm. Yep,
just like with 464, just like with every union in Omaha. A lot of people get in by I know so and so, I'm so and so's nephew. I'm also part of that case.
Yeah,
training.
There's so many like there's a lot of people out in West Omaha that are like dudes that like they get a reasonably wealthy for owning like a construction company or some shit, right? And then their son, they hire their fucking sons or their nephews to do it. And these guys are like lazy pieces of shit that just coast by. Yeah, man. My older brother told me like every other fucking company he worked for had the fucking lazy piece of shit son or nephew that worked with them. Like,
it's exactly how it goes.
And the problem is you can find a harder working person from North Omaha with a good education. They exist.
Right.
But just like if you're going to go find a good comic, Are you gonna go to Omaha, Nebraska to find like this next best thing, or are you gonna go to the Laugh Factory in Chicago?
Right.
You're gonna go to where they breed better people.
Sure. Sure.
And I mean, it
sounds
just sucks. I mean, like it would suck too to be like in that position because it's like, bro, you don't want to have to fucking move to like get into a better part of town. And it's like, man, I'd rather be in my fucking house and my here where I
Right,
know
your
all these
Same thing
people
with
in the area
comedy.
here.
I bought a
Yeah,
house
dude.
near where my mom grew up. I bought a house near where my mom lives. My uncle lives down the street from me. That's North Bellevue in Omaha. That's a suburb of Omaha. But other people don't have that same opportunity. People that lived on like 30th and Ames, which is a very poor community in Omaha, they're going to live near 30th and Ames as they're going to buy a house because their whole family's there, and the family's a support system that's going to help them
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
upbring it. But
I lived out in Elkhorn, man. There's no sense of community out there at all.
No, it's all
Not
fucking
even a little
pop-up
fucking
houses
bit.
and
white douchebags.
yeah. We were actually looking at a house in Elkhorn the other day.
You
but-
piece of shit. Come to North Bellevue.
Dude, I'm telling you, we're not moving for another year. We're stuck in this apartment.
Bro,
so it
I'm
doesn't
going to start
matter.
sending you houses.
She does it every day. Trust me, I don't need two because you're both gonna send me the same fucking houses.
Hey, shit, I'll start doing it too. I'll send you houses.
agents then.
I'll send you houses in Council Bluffs, dude. I don't
Fuck
even live
you.
up there anymore.
Fuck
I'll still
you.
be up there like, yo,
I had
look
a
at this
friend that
house,
tried to
dude.
live in Council Bluffs.
Here's my thing,
I
man.
warned him.
Tried to.
Yeah, I
tried
warned
to.
him like, bro, there's something in the water, man. It makes him weird.
Here's my thing about Council Bluffs is there are nice parts of Council Bluffs.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there are.
I argue that.
I had a friend that lived in a nicer part of Council Bluffs, and he was like an investment banker, right? So he would meet with rich people, but he was over in like La Vista is where he worked. So he would meet with rich people from Omaha and shit. And he got to the point where he stopped telling people where he was from. He started telling them he was from Omaha because there is such a stigma when people hear the word Council Bluffs.
Yeah, fuck yeah, there is.
I'm just as
Yeah.
prejudiced.
There's
completely
something in the
understand.
water.
It's a well-deserved prejudice of Council
Can you
Bluffs.
imagine? Can you imagine living? Can you imagine living in New York and somebody's gonna say, "Yeah, I live in New Jersey." Yeah, you're like, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the same. Like I used to have a job where I had to check IDs all the time, and if I saw an Iowa driver's license, I was a little disgusted. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's how
fuck
it
them.
works. It's disgusting.
Let's
It's
hate
filthy.
them as much as neo-Nazis hate other people.
Meth and casinos. That's what they got. You know. It's like-
Speaking of that, what? Okay, so what exactly did the law get passed with the casino thing?
they're building a. One of the tribes is building a casino in Lincoln.
What tribe?
I have no idea.
I
not
don't
the
care.
one
It's
she
in
belongs
Lincoln.
to, 'cause
That's
I'm
too
not giving
far
away
away
info.
for me.
No, that's exactly it. Is they're like because most of the casino money is going from Omaha to Council Bluffs.
Yeah.
It's no one's going to
I
fucking
thought
Lincoln.
Horseman Track was going to be able to build like a
No.
full-blown casino.
It might be the same owners actually. It might. I'm not sure, but like that, most of the fucking casino money is They're worried about it going from Omaha to Council Bluffs. You pull it in Lincoln, dude. I'm not driving to Lincoln. I'll still.
No.
Like, I don't gamble at all.
I'll
But-
gamble in Iowa.
Yeah, people are still going to go to Council Bluffs. It's 20 minutes closer. You know. Like much
Yeah,
to
you'll
the
get
dismay.
that small old Lincoln crowd that probably travels all the way out to Council Bluffs to do their
Well,
gambling. So
Yeah, they don't want to drunk drive an hour and a half.
Have you ever been to some of the casinos on the reservations?
Never been
though?
to casino.
Really? You never been to any
I have
casino?
not been to. A
I've
single
only been to
casino
casinos
besides
for-
the hotel I lived in, or shut down at an ammonia plant.
I've only been to casinos for concerts, so I've never actually gone
I
there.
would love to go. Don't have the right friend group.
I see. I've been to a casino. I've been for concerts, like you said, and we've gone. Like I remember one time, me and my friends went out bar hopping one year on Thanksgiving. Right?
You guys bar hop to a casino? on
No,
Thanksgiving?
we were
Wait,
going out
penny
bar
pitchers-
hopping on-
Penny pitchers at DJ's dugout.
No. Bar hopping on Thanksgiving, and there were no bars open on Thanksgiving night.
No,
So
DJ's
we went
dugout
to
was.
we wound up in one of the casinos in Council Bluffs, and like they wanted to gamble. I'm like, dude, I'm just here to drink. Like I'm already gonna waste enough money doing that. I'm
Did
not
you still
trying
get free drinks?
at the casino. That's only in Vegas. They don't do that in Council Bluffs. No,
Did
they
they
got a full
not?
service bar.
Ah.
Hell no.
No.
I thought it was free drinks all around as long as
No.
you're near your table.
Nope. That's Vegas. They'll do it, and there's a strategy behind it. Like because
Get
if
drunk, make rash.
the more you drink, the less sense your decisions make. So
Plus, those Vegas casinos have
Bro,
like really
they
huge
clearly
like
haven't met
entry
you.
fees, don't
Your
they?
Decisions.
what's
don't those Vegas casinos have like really big entry
No,
fees too?
most of them
No?
are free to get into.
Yeah.
Well, like
okay.
in Vegas.
Mhm.
I've also never been to Vegas.
Yeah, neither
Yeah,
have I.
we're going
Obviously,
in
since
August.
I've never been to a casino.
No, they're free to get into. They get the places they get you, dude. It's like the buffets and shit like that. No,
How much is a buffet?
so it's like $40-$50. So
God damn, dude, they better be serving fucking oysters with the pearls still
So,
in there for 40.
the one
Yeah, I
we're-
was
the one
gonna
we're
say,
going
how
to-
good is the food?
The one we're going to, my girl's brother was telling us about how like he's like it's literally any type of ethnic food you could imagine for $50 for 3 hours. Like
Man,
that's,
people-
spaghetti and goat from Ethiopia.
yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know if that's what you're into. They probably make it for
Let's
you.
do a shit ton of coke. Let's go to Las Vegas right here, right now. I have a very important test
I
coming
gotta
up
be
on
in
Friday.
Denver on Friday. I gotta get.
So
in
we
Denver
gotta
on
be
Friday.
back by
Are
Friday.
you going up to Denver to do a show with Ali or something? I saw
I
he's
am-
moving out there, man.
He's moving out there,
He
but yes,
is.
I am going to Denver with Ali, the same person who was in the car with me when we were almost killed in Des Moines. So like, I'm.
Hey, you
super-
guys didn't die, so it's like he's a good luck charm, dude.
Is he? Is he?
If he
'Cause that
wasn't
was a
there, you
major
probably would have
pain
got
in my
smashed
ass.
in. If he wasn't there, bro, you would have not want to see what would have happened to you if he wasn't there.
Well,
bro.
dude, that's
Like-
what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody is like, you know, I'm what you call a religious free agent, right? Like, I think there's something.
What?
I think that like there's some type of afterlife and some type of intelligent design. I just don't know what it was, and I'm willing to hear out your case. Now, I was almost killed
Hear out your case.
in the car with a Muslim guy, so Allah was clearly with him.
Allah
must
is
have been with
Yahweh.
me, right?
Allah is God.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
yeah.
Same
Allah was
one
with
God.
him. He's probably with me. Like,
This is the Catholic in me.
what's Yahweh? Is that Jewish? or is that-
Yahweh was the
Yahweh,
Hebrew name.
Yahweh shouldn't be spoken in the Jewish communities, but Yahweh is the definition of God.
Oh, they don't say the name. It's like
I'm pretty
That's
sure.
I think
it's
that's
like-
the Hebrew name for God, isn't it?
it's like
Yeah.
Jew
yeah,
Macbeth.
it is.
Jew Macbeth.
Well, Jim Macbeth is a little worse.
That's like, I'm just saying. That's what it sounds like. That's the comparison. I don't know.
Is Ali a pretty like? I've never really talked to him about religion of all
No.
things, but is he? I was gonna say I
No,
don't think he's
not
a very.
about it. He's not
The
about
only
it.
Yeah, I didn't
the
think
only
so.
thing is he won't eat pork.
Well, that's a cultural
Really?
thing. That's not a
Yeah.
religious thing.
He like one time me and him went to a restaurant and he ordered a bacon cheeseburger with bacon on the side and I was like, bro, why didn't you just order a cheeseburger?
You ever get weirded out by hanging out with Ali?
No, why?
I get weirded out.
Why?
I
Is
don't,
it because I think I get what he's saying because Ali's kind of you can like Ali's had his thing where he's been in fucking Iraq, you know, as the interpreter
yeah,
over there.
I
Like he's a
hung-
little.
I've hung out with.
He's
Yeah.
intense.
I
He's
hung
yeah.
out with him at raves. I hung out with Carmen. Karma was a nightclub. I hung out with him there. I brought him onto a show that he walked off of because he was doing something else. And some other stuff. And then he looked at me and Zach Ravetti and he's like, "You open micers, you can step it up." And I was like, well, "What the fuck are you talking about, bro? We're at an open mic right now." And like I think it got weird because like I said I could work on his car, and I didn't know that I couldn't grab the thing that pulls out the spark plugs
Yeah.
with pliers.
Oh.
So I did.
And
I
you broke his
this
car.
thing. Yeah, I broke this thing, and this whole Tesla thing. I got into a weird situation. I thought we were about to fight.
I've heard the story. You broke his car. He told me about that.
Yeah, bro. And it was like, this is my good friend. Like, I love Ali. I genuinely love this man, and I hope the fucking best for him, 1,000%. But like after this car broke in my driveway, because I said, "Oh yeah, I work on cars all the time." The guy with the Tesla pulls up. He's like, "Oh," he like puffs his chest out a little bit, and I was like, "Look, man, I did this and that," and Ali's like, "No, man, he did this." Blah, blah, blah. It's always been weird.
That's how he said it too. I
That is
guarantee-
how Ali talks.
Dude, speaking of Teslas, did you hear about did you read the Tim Dillon thing about Teslas?
No.
So
No.
he went on a rant, and it's Tim Dillon. He went on a rant about how we need to start shooting Tesla owners in the head
What the fuck?
because they're so
Of
arrogant.
course.
So
course, Tim.
there was this article. It says it's titled, and of course it's written by a white woman who's discriminating against a gay man.
Wait, what?
It says, "Let's not shoot Tesla owners in the head," Tim Dillon. and people were like furious about it, man. There were like legitimate Tesla, like the Tesla Club in New York held a meeting about like how do we handle this and stuff like
Bro,
that.
that's the same shit with my rape joke.
Yeah, and
You're like, oh, I'm offended.
people are like, if Tim Dillon owns any guns, he needs to have a mental evaluation before he gets them back. Blah blah blah.
You.
And then
Gets
someone
them
else,
back from where? The fucking like the gun bank? Like
right? Yeah. And then someone else this guy was like, it's all Tesla all over his Twitter profile and everything. He's like, why doesn't Elon Musk or Tesla use some of their money and resources to send Tim Dillon a message? They want us to go fuck him up.
Here's the conspiracy with that. Here's the
Send him a
conspiracy with that.
message.
Okay.
2 guys in a 1986 Cavalier.
Here's the conspiracy with that. Okay. Mazda paid Tim Dillon to fucking make that.
Mazda?
And Mazda paid him
Mazda with
off.
Miatas, bro. I love Miatas.
Have you ever seen bodybuilders
Yo.
against tipping?
No, what?
The greatest. I show every guest. It's the greatest Facebook post or the greatest Facebook page ever. Bodybuilders against tipping. His whole thing is about how he doesn't tip servers and he drives Miatas.
What the
And
fuck?
he's like an Australian model guy.
Yeah, it's
He's like
like-
what they use the pictures of.
He was just
Oh,
like,
fuck
this
that
is the-
guy, bro. I love
He uses
Miatas.
chest bra, and he
Yeah,
said
bro.
he drove this.
Bro, that's a sick ass Miata.
Drove the Xmas Miata up to the Northeast to celebrate the big man's birthday. God, spreading holiday games, leaving coal for the local servers. This is the time of year where truth offers lessons that far outweigh any material possessions. Left a free truth bomb for a server that I'll just assume is a single mother who was wearing a shirt.
I love the free truth bomb for a
He
single
calls
mom.
he calls all the waiters and waitresses food slaves.
Food
dude.
slaves,
Food
yeah.
slaves.
She was wearing a shirt that said the future is female. Oh, well, what the fuck does that even mean? And then he shows the receipt and it just says feminists are just female incels and he signs it no tips crew.
God damn, bro.
He had another one that got like thousands of shares and like the University of Michigan medical department had to comment on it.
What?
something
Wait,
with
what the fuck?
COVID or
The
something?
University of Michigan's
Yeah.
getting involved?
Yeah, he goes, relax. I'm 6 feet away from you whining essential workers. Go ahead and take my picture. I don't need to wear no stupid mask. COVID doesn't affect anyone under 10% body fat, by the way. 10% cut off. The virus is only killing off obese people who never lifted weights or worked out a day in their lives. Back to the servers crying about having to work. I never wanted to interact with you on a close level anyway, so I'm loving the plexiglass between us and carry-out options. Best part, you're still getting stiffed by me. If you haters have a problem with my godlike physique, feel free to drop by my Instagram. And then he shares the actual guy whose pictures he uses. And then he goes,
What a fucking douche,
hashtag,
bro.
hashtag COVID is fake.
This guy's
It's
fucking
so funny.
trolling everybody.
And
It's so funny because that actually, like, somebody saying like, "Oh, COVID doesn't affect people under 10% body fat,"
Yes.
really sounds like something somebody would seriously.
I know.
do.
Oh, it's so douchey.
2 days later, he goes, I owe the community an apology. I've been reflecting very hard since
Oh,
my
really?
last, since
Really?
my last COVID
He
post.
caved. He caved.
No.
I didn't cave.
No,
he
no,
caved.
Just wait. And I truly see how much it's impacted the serving industry and healthcare system. I'm still not going to tip or wear a mask, but I've reflected, and I think that's the important part.
we gotta end it on that, man.
Yep, that's what we're gonna do.
Oh,
It's like an hour and a
yeah.
half.
You gotta go through that no tips crew stuff with Justen there, man. It's just so fucking funny.
Thank you
dude.
guys for having me on. I'll be
my
more than
favorite, I
welcome
want to
to
say
come
my
back.
favorite one real quick. Urge it. Does anyone know if swollen glutes are a side effect of the Pfizer COVID vaccine? Ha ha ha. Just kidding. No injections of that poison here.
That's how you know the best satire is stuff that you aren't sure is.
You're not
satire.
100% sure it's fake.
That's the best kind of satire.
All right, man. We just did like an hour and a half. This is Bread
Yeah.
and Circuses. Do you have any shows you got coming up that you want to plug or no?
Yeah, I really want to plug What If Nobody Give a Fucked About Jesus is a comedy show coming up soon.
Where?
It's an animated series that my cousin probably will produce. I don't know. If not, you'll see me again on this podcast or at an open mic in Omaha.
You okay to drive?
No.
We'll cut that out. We'll cut that out so there's no admission
So
of
won't
guilt
be used in
anywhere
a
on
criminal
online.
investigation. Yeah. All right.
God damn,
This
you
is-
guys, did you bring that bottle fresh there? Justin?
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ,
I did,
it's fucking
unopened.
empty, dude.
Unopened,
Hold
bro.
that shit up.
Peach
Hold that shit
pecan,
up,
baby.
It's fucking
still a little bit
almost
left.
empty.
There's still, I feel fine. What's funny? He's drank most of it.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
just need a cigarette, man. I'm good to go.
this is Bread and Circuses. Thank you guys so fucking much.
Deuces, yo.
Peace out.
Peace.